can put one. She can put one in each toilet. She?
I open only the one.
Open what? You leaving tomorrow?
Yes. Good. Good.
Not good?
Good. Okay. Okay.
How did it finish?
0 killed.
Any questions before you?
One more
The
window.
curtains, yeah, we can open them, all the curtains.
Oh?
Yeah, because the wind
Curtains.
can.
Windows?
The curtains, only the curtains. The windows are open.
Okay.
Close these ones, that's right, because this is mosquito net. So the bugs doesn't come inside. No, they're not the windows, only the curtains. But the windows. See? No questions?
I think I understand the main things, but sometimes I need maybe some maintenance. That is why
Some
I'm
what?
here. No,
Repetition.
Repetition, maybe, yes. And sometimes I'm reading some book for talking to Anya, for example, and it's helps me to maintain the desire to practice further and further. But I think I have no questions.
Okay. You have to keep the mind quiet. Awake, but quiet. Still. Even if you want to practice inquiry, the mind has to be awake and yet still. Right? It cannot be dull, it cannot be active, it will not work. It has to be pure in a way. So with a pure mind, you look for its place of living. That's it. And it disappears there. Disappears means the idea that the mind is a separate entity, an individual self, ego, whatever it is just vanishes. Hey! You want the fan? You want the fan? Say. There, at the entrance.
Yes.
Go.
Air is still. Only a little bit. It can be low speed, only that there is a movement in the.
There you are.
Wait. This can be slower. Can be slower, no, slow.
You can start 15 minutes in the morning, right?
It's only one, it's two, it's
To
not.
learn how to
How all feel like this.
everything is okay. We are happy with that. You can start 15 minutes in the morning, for example, when you wake up, to learn how to do the inquiry properly. Right? When you manage to do the inquiry properly, then it has to be extended during the whole day,
I'm trying to do it all the time
all the time.
and analyze all the reactions.
Yes. And then you see all the reactions within yourself. Right?
Could you clarify what you told us yesterday? Like, if some thoughts appear, stay with I am sense. So this sense I am, could you clarify what is it?
See, when the thought arises, we must diligently inquire, see, for where these thoughts are coming from, or to whom these thoughts are coming from. That's the same trick. Where, because the whom and the where is the same thing. It's the same place. In reality, it's not a where, it's not a whom, it's not a what. See? It simply is. And this, what simply is the I am. I am that which simply is. When the mind is quiet, I know that I am. But I cannot say, how is it that I am? What is it that I am? I know that I am. See? I am as I am. Right? I am that I am which is as it is. It is silent, it is nameless, it is formless, qualityless, characteristicless, and yet it exists. It appears as if it is nothing, no one, nowhere, and yet it is. It exists. Right? And it's that which is conscious. It's that which is aware. It's being self.
And again, it's by the means of questioning, who am I? Yeah?
By the questioning.
And where the thoughts come from.
Yes. The holding doesn't mean that you have to be like this. Holding means don't let any thought, see, to cover it. Right? When the thought arises, gently, peacefully, lovingly, and diligently. See? Don't let them go too far. Right? Who am I? So this thought destroys the previous thought. See? And this thought destroys itself, right? Because as soon as the question who am I ends, right, the I am remains.
So no need to remember which thought it was.
No.
Like for example, thought appears, and move quickly. Yeah.
Yes.
So no
Well,
need to remember which thought it was. Just
The idea is to forget them, to make them disappear. If they disappear, you don't remember them.
but as you told us, all thoughts show you your unconsciousness.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
like- so
It
it means something for you.
No, it's not to see the meaning of the thought. See? It is your subconsciousness, that's all. Any thought is subconscious. Right? Any idea is
No
subconscious.
need to observe rubbish. Yeah. Like-
No. You need to know the content of the thought. See, forget about the quantity or the quality. Right? Just get rid of it, whether it is positive or negative. Right? Otherwise, then you go into the new age, analyzing, trying to understand your subconsciousness, to see there is something within the past that needs to be healed. Nothing, just get rid of it. And then that's all. What is there to be understood? How can you understand thought? See? And who is going to understand thought? What thought? Only thought is interested in thought, right? Only the ego is trying to purify itself to understand itself. right? Or something within me that I need to understand because of my parents. See, get rid of all that stuff. New Age is very misleading. Very misleading, very confusing. Good business anyway. Good business. The thinker is the thought, right? The believer is the belief. Right? It's one movement. Right? We can separate the thinker from the thought. See? Everything starts with I. I am good. I am bad. I am this. I am that. Whatever it is, right? The thinker and the thought, see? And the act of thinking is one egoic movement. The mind as a self, the mind as a separate entity is ego. Right? Otherwise, it's just thought, and that's okay. And you use them, right? You use the knowledge that you have. The concept is, you have to use concepts in daily life. This is a chair, it's a concept, right? You conceptualize this in order to communicate. Now, is this a chair? No. This is consciousness, right? And consciousness is conscious of consciousness. See? Whatever is within consciousness is inseparable from consciousness. Who is conscious of what? But as long as you live in the world, and people believe in concepts, you have to act accordingly. For safety reasons, even, right? Because if somebody asks you, who are you? You say, I don't know, right? They will call the mental hospital. See? This woman is crazy, she doesn't know who she is, right? Put her on the medication, straight jacket, lock her in, right? Or they will call the police, right? Something is wrong with you. You're a terrorist, you don't want to see who you are. While you are hiding, you are suspicious. Huh? Something like that, right? Then you have to pretend to be as mad as everybody else. Right? When the colonizers arrived in the United States, in America, the colonizers, the Spanish colonizers, the conquistadors, the Indians said, we didn't know that we were Indians until the colonizers came and said, you are Indians. See? And they gave us this identity. We didn't know who we were. See, we were. We knew that we were. Right? But what and how, we didn't know that. A dog is. The dog doesn't know it is a dog. Right? But the dog is. Right? And humans also are. That's all. They are an expression of consciousness. Therefore, they are consciousness. There is nothing that it isn't consciousness. Nothing exists outside of consciousness. Nothing exists outside of yourself. And the inquiry brings you to that realization. That's the beauty of it. It's so simple. It's a shortcut. It's called the royal path. It's the direct path, which is not the path. See? It gets rid of the one that is on the path. Right? The seeker, that is on a spiritual journey, see, collapses. Because the seeker is an illusion. This has to be understood straight away, from the beginning. The seeker itself is an illusion. The seer of the illusion is part of the illusion. Right? The seer of reality is an illusion. If the illusion disappears, there is no illusion and reality. When the mind is quiet, what is the concept of illusion and reality and observer and observer? What is all that? It goes away. With so much you're doing yoga, you don't mind the question. You don't have to answer it. I'm just curious. Because you look more tired than anything else. Yeah, you look these black things here. With so much you're doing yoga. Doctor, huh?
No, with Sanju.
Sanju. I can tell.
Because we finish with Nidra yoga, it's with sleeping.
Oh,
It's last step. That's why we just wake up.
But anyway. What's the matter?
The mind starts splitting something, and it is so awful. Yesterday, you asked me, you can laugh about the ego. Yes, but in the afternoon, I stopped laughing about it. I thought,
Yeah, that
well,
was
in the trap, so it was a reaction of this.
Yeah.
It's clear for me.
yeah.
And like the last dance of the, and then I could see when I asked, who is feeling this confusion, who am I? And in the same moment comes, I see the confusion. Who is the one who is seeing it? That had more depth. And then the mind started. This other question, this is another I. And I felt that, you understand what I said? That when I asked from this seeing, it is not a fact. The ego seems not to be a fact when I ask from the feeling. It seems as it is a fact, as it is true.
It seems.
And from there not. So the mind starts splitting this, ha ha ha, there are two I. And
It is all thought.
it's all thought.
So get rid of that. Even now, get rid of that.
That comes to me. Who has to get rid of it? And I say,
Who is it?
who is it?
Look for it.
Hmm?
See, when thought disappears, this is the trap that everybody is falling in. See, the mind is quiet. It's looking for something. The mind is not the one that is looking for something. We are looking for what the mind is. If the mind is quiet, until the end inquiry. Who is there to inquire about what? If the who is gone, which is thought. So if thought goes away, mind goes away, ego goes away. Right? Then who is there to inquire and about what? That's it. When the mind is quiet, don't spoil it, leave it alone. So it can get balance in its place of very easy. Balance means the three characteristics. Not too active, not too dull, not too pure. So the body start again, nature, which is the body's nature, to start functioning according to the laws of nature. See? From 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. is pure. See? From 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is active. See? From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. is pure again. And from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. is dull. Right? So you have 8 hours of activity, 8 hours of purity, 8 hours of dullness. See? 8 into 3, 24 hours. See? 3 characteristics, 8 hours each. So eating habits, sleeping habits, activity, all that gets balanced by keeping the mind in its place of duty. Forget about the posture of the body, forget about focusing in one point. This is not meditation, this is not concentration, right? Leave the body alone. See, the body listening to the birds, you listen to the birds and you look here and there. See, the body is reactive, right? The body is alive, is awake, right? Extremely awake. It's interesting, the mind is extremely awake and yet very quiet. It's the mind that is awake, not you. You are just aware. Awareness is not affected by anything. I remember when Swami used to give darshans, right? He would sit in a chair for hours sometimes, and he would sometimes. Right? He was not. To be fully aware of your surroundings, to be fully aware of your surroundings, and yet being mentally quiet. Of course, if the mind is necessary, it will show up, right? The knowledge that you have will show up. Mind may be quiet, and you come to me, see, so what's the time? Automatically, see, the mind, which is my instrument of expression, communication, calculation, knowledge, right, says, it is 5 to 11. And he keeps quiet again. Right? And that's pure mind. See, this mind basically is the one that. And the mind has to be balanced, right? No tendency, no characteristic overpowering the other. I mean, one should overpower, right? Is the pure mind, which is a mind towards the, directed towards the society, towards the others, which is yourself. Saints, sages, avatars, all that, they have only this quality of mind. They don't want anything for themselves. Even self-reliant beings, even if they are intimacy with a partner, it's for the partner, it's not even for themselves. The joy that the experience is coming from the self, is not from the object that it is experienced by the mind. What is there apart from peace? There is nothing better than peace. So from no mind, see, to pure mind. No mind, pure mind. No mind, pure mind. If the mind is dull, right? Forget about practicing, sleep. You won't succeed. If the mind is active, then do something. Right? Who is the doer? There's a devotee of Ramana Maharshi. So when I am meditating, I would fall asleep and I say, okay, sleep. When you wake up, you practice. Yes, but when I wake up and I try to practice again, I fall asleep. And Ramana Maharaj said, okay, sleep. When you wake up again, you practice. Yes, but I fall asleep. You say, you cannot be sleeping all the time. At some point you're awake. When you're awake, you practice. No need to be so rigid. Otherwise, it's the mind trying to get something out of inquiry. You see this stress. The mind is practicing awareness, practicing all this in New Age, practicing presence. Be aware. Who is going to be aware? How can you be? You already are aware. You cannot be aware. You already are aware. You already are aware of the concept. Be in the moment. Who is going to be in the moment? Right? You cannot be more in the moment than what you are. Right? And it's funny because they claim to be realized or awakened by self-inquiry, and then they start teaching a whole bunch of stuff. Good morning. There's a lot of books. Relax. And just be. You already are. Just be what you are. Actually, the essence of the teachings, whether it's Babas or Ramanas, just even Jesus, be still, he said. Be still and know that I am, that I am. Be still means be mentally still. Means do nothing with your mind, forget it all. Forget about doing anything, right? Forget about wanting anything, looking for anything. And then the mind is still. Now, if the mind cannot be still, then the inquiry has to take place, right? Who can be still? And that is still the mind. Quiet mind is no mind. So simple. Quiet mind is self. This is why it's important to understand the teachings. Apart from thoughts, there is no mind, no ego. What thought? I. That's the only thought. Only one thought is there, I. Which means what? Body. I am the body. That's the I thought. This is the I idea, the I concept. As soon as you look at it, you are no longer it. Right? If I look at you, I am not you. Right? If I look at my body, I am not my body. If I look at my mind, I am not my mind. Then who am I? The attention goes back to being. Consciousness is directed towards being. When consciousness is directed towards something, it becomes the mind. See? If you are conscious of something, that is mind. Right? I and you. As if it were two separate entities. When the attention is removed from an object, see, you are conscious of nothing, of yourself, right? There is no mind. This is what Baba said to my teacher, and my teacher said that to myself, right? If you are conscious, if you are looking at consciousness as mind, right? The mind jumps and bumps. See? You have to, because if you are conscious of being, right? Then the mind collapses. Thought finishes, inquiry finishes. That's it, relax. Whatever the body is doing, is moving, is scratching, looking here and there, doing this and that. Then the body is under the control, right? Of yourself, you see, and it's automatically, you are not making any effort, right? To make things happen, right? There is no effort on your side, see, to operate the body, right? No need knowledge at all, see, because what you are is intelligence. Intelligence doesn't need knowledge. Actually, it brings knowledge. But consciousness doesn't even know how it's operating the body. It doesn't even know how it's creating everything. It does its nature. Right? To bring everything into existence, to kick the mind out, all the tendencies out. Go show me something. Dance for me. Entertain me. I'm joking. It's consciousness. Without intention or this is very important to understand. I keep on repeating this, maybe somebody will get it. Without intention or desire, okay? Without wanting, without effort, without the need of knowledge, and without knowing that it's doing it, is doing everything. It is what it's doing. It can separate itself from the very doing. It is the very doing. It doesn't know that it's blowing the wind. It's the blowing of the wind. It doesn't know that it's shining the sun. It's the shining of the sun. It's the movement of the ocean. It's the flow of the river. Right? It's the flight of the birds. It's the totality of life, existence. Leave the body alone, poor thing. The body's program is a computer. Let the program run as it is. It's perfect as it is. Why not? If you sit like this, it doesn't make any difference. Buddha, there are pictures of Buddha sitting like this, but pictures of Buddha lying on the floor. Like this, right? Also Ramana, it's a nice picture of him like this in the couch. Whatever happens is our destiny, karma, God will, any other reason. Who cares? Anyway, who is concerned about what happens? To be concerned about what happens, you must do the impossible, to separate yourself from what happened, to think about it, to analyze it, to control it, to improve it, right?
This tendency of controlling.
That's ego.
That has such a power, yes.
The only power that it has is the power that you give to it.
Is it just
Ego? It is just ego.
Yes.
It's a controlling mechanism. It's a control freak. Ego is a control freak. It's a controlling mechanism. That's what it is. And it damages the brain, produces neural disconnection, right? It collapses your empathy, right? Compassion goes away. Nervous system becomes damaged, the body sensitivity of the body, the whole thing goes bananas. The nature as such is damaged by ego, sense of separate, independent, autonomous existence.
Then only asking who's controlling.
Who is controlling?
Who's controlling?
Yes.
I.
The controlling mechanism.
And it comes back and again, and
then
it comes back
go.
and again, and it's like
Then
this, even if it is like mechanical sometimes
then
it's
the
like
the ego may be playing this inquiry. The ego may be playing this inquiry.
That is what I feel.
That's what I told you. Come to satsang, listen, just be here. Right? I'll take care. Surrender, right? Forget it. Forget it all, what I'm trying to say. Forget about spirituality. See? You're a retired woman, right? Then enjoy your retirement. Otherwise we die and we haven't enjoyed a bit of this magnificent, even illusion, it is magnificent, right? The flower is an illusion, it is beautiful, right? Birds are an illusion, it is beautiful, right? Everything looks beautiful, right? When you see from the beauty, because it's the beauty of yourself, see, that sees the beauty of its own expression, because what comes from beauty is beauty. What comes from perfection is perfection. It's a perfection that doesn't have as an opposite ugliness. It's not a beauty imperfection. It's a beauty that doesn't have as an opposite ugliness. It's just, it's amazing. Right? You're amazed, fascinated by all this stuff. I can spend hours looking at the dirt of the tails in the toilet, in the bathroom. I can get lost there, you know. You have to stop me. Hey, I'm in the toilet. You see why people, this is why enlightened beings, self-realized beings, they look like cuckoo. These guys, something is wrong with these people. They're weird, act in a very weird way.
What?
In a weird way.
Weird.
Strange.
Mad. Ah.
Strange.
Yes,
They are not normal. It's not normal. What is normal? Define normal first. And as soon as you do that, okay, nice to meet you. Yes, and goodbye. And I walk away. When you inquire, you surrender. One of the two. They are not two ways, they are different in names. Surrender or inquiry. It's the same. Surrender is surrender your ego. The idea that you are a separate entity acting by your own free will, freedom of choice. And the inquiry is, it also surrenders the ego. No difference between inquiry and surrender. No difference between devotion and jnana. The devotion and knowledge, jnana and bhakti. Same. Different names only. You surrender to God. This is God's will. Like I'm hopeless. Right? And eventually you realize that you yourself are the very God that you are surrendering. Right? You are looking for the self. Who is looking for the self? The ego collapsing, the seeker collapses, and you realize the self to be the self that you are looking for. It both produces the same effect, different in names only. This is so beautiful. Even when I listen to myself, when I hear it from myself or someone else,
You are producing a film.
No. What are you listening to?
I didn't.
This is so beautiful. Whether I'm listening from someone else or from myself, it still is the same. Surrender your efforts to achieve something, to get rid of something. This is effort. See? This is attachment. It means I want to give continuity to this moment. See? I don't want this moment to change. Right? This is ego, effort. See? Because ego is identity with this moment. Right? So if this moment changes, the ego changes. It doesn't want to change. Actually, if the ego changes, it doesn't change, it disappears. See? And this is effort, attachment. And this is detachment. See? Let go. Let go. Ego is addiction, right? And one more, this moment is gone. See, when you speak about this moment, it's not this moment anymore, right? You see, when you speak about the now, there is no now. Life is movement, so there is no now. Right? Sometimes I joke, see, I am that, I am what? Not I am that, but I am what? What are you talking about? Right? And then the energy flows, see, the body is light, see, the movements are sharp, see. The mind becomes a magnificent instrument. English is improving.
No efforts.
No, some reading. So the ego wants to give continuity to its identity. To give continuity to its identity, you have to give continuity to an experience. You have to make an effort, see, to prolong that experience. Right? It is impossible, right? Because you have a spoon of chocolate pudding in the canteen, which is fantastic, right? And then you have the flavor for some time. And it goes away. See? But as soon as you say, this is good, right? You create a concept. You create the concept of pleasure. And then you want to eat chocolate pudding until you become fat like a pig, right? And then your liver collapses and the body is gone. You could have enjoyed a little bit more of this beauty. Same story. Let's practice Tantra Yoga so I can have this for hours and days and stuff. What's the point? Even people develop addiction to spirituality, even they develop addictions to their gurus, right? Because the joy they experience when they are with the guru is created by their own thinking. Even Sai Baba said that in his last discourses. All the joy that you experience with you are creating that, it's false. It has nothing to do with it. You are creating that. The real joy when comes when even the thought of God disappears and the thinker of the thought of God also disappears. Then the real deal shows up. It's recorded. That's the beauty of the technology. That now, I don't know how you're going to do to delete. In the past, you could change the written stuff, make editings, and right? Make interpretation by the so-called professional custodians of the truth. Now there is a fight between this and that organization. See, who has the right, the copyright of God's name? Who has the copyright of anything? Right? The truth is I am. Right? That's the truth. I am. Even in Hinduism is I am, Soham. I am. Then the permission of what? The authority of whom? See, you need to say I am. That's my point. Right? I am. I know that I am. Anything else I don't know. I am. That is Baba's teachings. I am is the truth. I am this and that. Whatever you attach to the I am is ego. So simple. Right? Who has a copyright of that? See? That's my question. Who and why somebody would like to keep the monopoly of God's name? God, He Himself says, you think this body is God. See, when I say I don't mean this. You say Baba is God. See, and when Baba's body dies, where is God? Oh, he's dead. He's there, 6 feet under in the mandir. Right? It's your own self, it's your own heart, it's the core of your own being. Right? It's better not to get involved in any of that. If we are alive, see, God is not dead. See? We are the containers, see, of the truth. See? You know what is the Sai Center? Here. There's the Sai Center, it's right here. And the only thing that you can trust is this one. See?
He always is that.
It's here. Right?
Even so that in moments of confusion I cannot do anything wrong, it is not possible.
If there is confusion, if there is confusion, leave the confusion alone. The confusion will go away.
No, it's not a question. I want to say this. That my experience is that even in
My experience.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Stay.
You are the truth. That was his message to us. And Jesus' message and Buddha's message. Actually, it's not Baba's message, it's not Jesus' message, because it's Baba not speaking. See? It's not Jesus who is speaking. It's not the Caesar. How can Caesar speak now? See? Caesar cannot give satsang. Only Sat can give satsang. Only the self can give satsang. Ego cannot give satsang. Ego cannot tell the truth because ego is a lie. Right? See? Is Baba talking? No. See? Self, Sat is talking through that particular body. Right? Is Jesus talking? No. It's God talking through that body. When the ego is gone, there is no person there talking. Right? It's finished. The person is finished. It's killed. Now the self is in charge of this and the mind of this. And the self is so impersonal that even to refer to itself, it refers to itself in third person. It doesn't say even I. See, it refers to itself as the self, not even as I. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm. Even Baba said at the end of his life, don't be attached to these feet, because these feet will go away sooner or later. Right? Now they are not even attached to the feet, they are attached to an imaginary thing going on somewhere else. Right? Subtle form and all this nonsense. I mean, this one fighting with the other one. See, what's the point? What's the point? A seeker of truth is only concerned about two things. Either to think of God or not to think at all. Nothing else should be interested for a spiritual seeker, for a seeker of truth. You have to be interested in the truth, not in anything else. The seeker of truth is interested in truth, not in anything else. So if you cannot experience itself as the truth, then you have to think about what symbolically represents the truth. See? Which is your personal God or Guru. Right? Either you think of God or you don't think at all. Everybody's chasing shadows.
Chasing what?
Shadows. Shadows. So God appeared in human form. Right? And then you look at it. That by itself will do. Either you look at it or you look at yourself. Both will quiet the mind and will make you realize that you are what you are looking at. Can it be more simple than that? No ha aparecido, ¿verdad, Julio? Los que venían por ahí, ¿fuiste a ver?
Cannot understand why God has his pleasure or the self has a pleasure to go through these things. It's all the self.
The self has nothing to do with that. That's the mind. The mind arises from the self, right? And bring all this into existence. And then identify itself with the body, marry with the body, and divorce with the self. It's not divorce, it's not divorce, it is just being unfaithful. It's just married. See? It's just being promiscuous. Mind arises from the self, see, and brings all this into existence. Because all this is within the mind, is the mind itself. And identified self is the body. Raises its hand and declares its independence. I am a separate individual being. I am the self. See? I am a being. Separate, independent, autonomous individual. Right? That's the individual. It doesn't even exist. So much less an individual soul. And it is the self that says, Maharaj, enough is enough. Who are you? And then happy marriage again. Happy, not even reunion, because there was no such thing as separation. And then the mind superimposed this on the self, because the mind is not separate from the self, and the self becomes whatever is within itself. Right? And superimpose that idea on the self. But the self, at some point, says, get out of here. The mind says, this is mine. But the self there says, this is me. This is myself. Not mine, but myself also. It's the mind that creates the ego, I and mine. That's the ego. That's all. Don't blame the self. That we have to think of God all the time is not to think about what happens as if it is good or bad, right or wrong, positive or negative, acceptable or unacceptable, moral or immoral. Right? That's the whole point of thinking of God. Right? Of repeating a mantra. See? For you not to think about what happens. See? To let what happens to be as it is. That's the whole point. Or thinking of God, repeating His name, thinking His glories while you're cooking, whatever it is to avoid thinking about what happens, as if it is a separate entity. That's all. Eventually, that thought also will disappear. This thought of God will prevent any other thought to come into existence, right? And that purifies the mind from its ideas. And then, when the mind is pure, that thought also, now that thought is useless, right? It accomplishes its purpose, which is to purify the mind. Now this thought also disappears. And then what remains is what? There you are. Not different. People even don't understand, they come here looking for darshan. They believe that darshan is to see God, see as it is an object. See? Darshan is to see as God sees. To have a divine vision is not to see the divine, it's to see as the divine sees. See, and the divine doesn't see anything separate from itself. So you cannot have darshan, see, of something or someone. If your mind is quiet, see, then you realize that the self is there. And who is having darshan of whom? See? The self is giving darshan to itself, see, and is seen from there as that. I saw Swamis. You haven't seen anything. Have you experienced the silence? If you haven't experienced the silence, you haven't experienced God. Now, who experienced the silence? Me? That's another trap, right? And people say, no, a guru is not necessary. I can do this by myself. Good luck on that. When your mind is quiet, then you are God, seeing God, seeing as God sees. And God doesn't see anything separate from Himself. Manolo debe estar por llegar.
Mañana.
Mañana, ¿no?
Creo.
Que ya entre hoy y pasado mañana, 17 y 19.
Mañana 18.
Pero creo que dijo que llegaba el 17. Por aquí. Llegaré como al mediodía del 17 de septiembre. Hoy. Hoy. My brother is coming. My guru is coming. Facebook culture. I haven't posted anything for some time. Who gives a damn? It becomes a culture, see, a cult. See? Part of your egoic thought process. Because Facebook is there, now you have to post something. Right? You have to see, you have to. What do you? The power is gone. How much battery is left?
Not a lot. Like for 2 minutes?
40 minutes.
2.
Sorry?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh, I don't understand something.
How long?
For 1 minute.
What is the number beside
Sí,
it?
no tiene batería.
The number beside the battery thing. What's the number?
The number. No, it's red. It's red color the battery.
Red color, so
It's
battery.
like for 1 minute I could stop broadcast, not to...
Yeah, but normally says 2%, 3%, 5%.
They say, they don't say. You can do this.
Time? 1 minute.
On top of the screen, there is a
Yes.
battery. Right? And there must be a
The battery is in the red.
in the red, so I want
2%.
2%.
2%.
That is maximum 1 minute.
So I will stop broadcast, not to
Va para el
repeat.
broadcast.
Well, let's hope for the electricity to come back.
No, could be problem like yesterday.
Yes, better to stop. We have to stop it because otherwise we will lose the recording.